Alright, you've got your hooks in me, I'm ready for part 2. Welcome to Bite Size Bunny, my name's Tony, and today we're going to be talking about Wicked. Wicked is the film adaptation of the beloved Broadway musical. It acts as a prequel to The Wizard of Oz, where it explores the backstory of Elphaba, the Wicked Witch. But the twist here is, what if Elphaba wasn't the villain, and instead was someone that was framed and had their story twisted and manipulated to get the people of Oz to turn against her? I am someone who hasn't seen the musical. I didn't really know anything about this one going into it outside of the basic premise of the story, and I don't really have a massive attachment to the Wizard of Oz either. I have no clue what's coming next or where this story is going, but I am looking forward to whatever part 2 might be. I enjoyed my time with this. I didn't love it, and I do think it's got some issues, but there are plenty of excellent components here that I do love. Right out the gate, we've got to talk about Cynthia Erivo. She is so magnificent. What she brings to this role is awe-inspiring. From the moment she steps foot on screen, she had me completely enthralled with her performance. She brings so much heart to this story, and it's impossible to not want to root for her character. What she brings here is so raw and authentic. She is 100% the best part of this production. And holy crap, can she sing! Anytime there was a music number she was a part of, I immediately sat up and was completely ready to just take it all in. Ariana Grande is great as Glinda. She is perfectly cast in this role. There is an energy she brings to the film that really works. She also gets to flex her comedic chops once again, and they feel right at home with this character and this world. Then you've got the chemistry between her and Cynthia, and it is top tier. There were a couple of emotional story beats between these two characters that really worked for me. During one of them, there wasn't even any dialogue between the two characters. There was just this choreographed dance sequence that acted as this powerful moment between the two, and I was blown away. From a production standpoint, this is one of those movies you want to see on the biggest screen with the best audio possible. From the costumes to the set designs, this movie looks great. I will say one nitpick I have is with how colorful everything is. I do wish they let those colors pop. It does feel like the colors got muted and dialed down in editing, and I did find myself thinking multiple times throughout the movie, man, I really wish they just embraced how colorful this world is. The CG is solid and there is a decent amount, but it all feels utilized well. Especially when it comes to the animal characters, they found the right balance of making them look lifelike, but also not making them look too real or grounded. So there isn't that awkward live-action Lion King dilemma. You can see and feel the emotion in these characters, and I did appreciate that aspect. The music, for the most part, is pretty fantastic. Anytime you got Cynthia and or Ariana on screen, you know you're in for a treat. They put their all into it, and you could absolutely see their Broadway musical background shine through. When it comes to some of the other characters, it could be a bit more of a mixed bag. I think Jonathan Bailey was a standout both musically and performance-wise. He's got a really fun music number pretty early on whenever his character is introduced. When it comes to Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Yeoh, I think they deliver top-notch performances, but their music numbers kind of pale in comparison. They're not bad, but they are the weaker ones out of the song list. I do think my biggest issue with Wicked Part 1 is the pacing. This is a long movie. It's got a runtime of 2 hours and 40 minutes, and you can absolutely feel it, especially in those first 2 acts. With this being a Part 1, it's hard to judge certain aspects without the full context of the story. There are subplots that feel kind of unneeded at the moment, like a love triangle story between certain characters that just kind of feels there. I do feel like with that extra runtime, they could have explored these characters better. There are certain character development moments that take place that just feel kind of sudden, and it's in those moments where I found myself wishing that the story flowed better. As of right now, I'm kind of just waiting to see how things transpire in Part 2, so my opinion can absolutely go up or down depending on how things pan out. I will say though, while I had some issues with the first 2 acts and their pacing, that third and final act is impeccable. The last 40 minutes flew by. I was glued to the screen and was genuinely surprised by how riveting that finale was. Especially with how powerful that last music number is, it is brilliantly handled and left me ready for more. I could have easily have started the next part if it was already out, but unfortunately we're gonna have to wait a year. Overall, I'm really impressed with Wicked. I had no expectations going into this one, and it was such a pleasant surprise. It's got its issues, but I do think there is more than plenty to admire here, and Cynthia Erivo's performance alone is enough of a reason to go check this out. I'm gonna be giving Wicked a 7.5 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Like, subscribe, and all that YouTube stuff. And what's your favorite movie musical? I'd love to know.